What's going on, guys? Happy New Year. Happy
New Year!
2023. And today we're not going to be doing a regular episode for you guys. We're actually going to be doing like a year wrap up.
Right, we got 5 Mondays, so we're doing our bonus week, first week.
Yeah. So my name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Now, I know you guys are used to us doing maybe a little bit older movies, a little bit more niche movies, but this is like a top 5 of what we watched this year.
Right. Yep.
It's funny, as I was making my list, I was like, oh man, I did not watch movies that came out this year enough.
Yes. As I also going through the list, I was like, wow, there's a lot of movies on here that I wanted to watch, and then I didn't.
I know. We're sorry, Nick Cage. We didn't watch the indomitable feeling of being Nick Cage movie.
I did this weekend.
Oh, did you? Oh, man. I wanted to put a Nick Cage movie because he's having this Cage-assance, But
yes.
The movie I wanted to put on was from last year. Pig.
Oh, right.
Where's my pig?
Yeah, it's funny because there's a few movies that I was surprised were 2022 because I was like, This movie seems like it's been out forever. Yeah. And then there's some movies that I was like, no, I just saw that. And then I looked and I was like, 2020? How far behind am I?
And quarantine really messed up a lot of people,
Hey, but before we really start, I want to give everybody out there who listens to us a humongous thank you for sharing us with your 2022. And hopefully you'll keep listening to us through 2023. Hopefully we're getting better as we're getting older.
That's what old people say. I'm aging like a fine wine. Yeah, man, I was really upset I couldn't put pig in this. I was sad because it's just it's such a the trailer really hits you in a different way, and then when you watch the movie, it's I wasn't expecting this type of movie at all. Because I thought it was gonna be John Wick, but with a pig. The tagline really could have been "Where's my pig."
But that sounds more like a Billy Bob Thornton movie.
I'm doing Nicolas Cage from Con Air. With that weird southern accent he was.
Yes.
But yeah, let's get to our top 5s. Colby, did you want to start? We'll go through 5 to 1. Classic countdown.
Right. So I have a couple honorable mentions just so that I could have 5 if we had too many of the same movie.
Pig's my honorable mention. It's
So I probably number 5. So the rest of my movies are all a little goofy, and they all seem to be the same similar kind of thing. But this is the one movie that's very different.
okay.
Emily the Criminal.
Oh, with Aubrey Plaza.
With Aubrey Plaza.
I didn't get to watch that.
I
thought about it.
I may like it so much because I'm a huge fan of hers.
Yeah.
It is a very different type of movie for her. It's dark, serious.
Oh yeah. Well, talk about it a little bit, So a little plot synopsis.
So the real quick rundown is she is looking to better herself, but she has a felony on her record.
Oh.
And so she's basically kind of getting shunned by future job prospects. And she didn't finish college because when she got out of jail, she had to
do crime.
She once she got out of jail, she had real life bills to pay, and she had started college, so she had all these student loan debts that had built up and like accrued interest while she was
In prison.
even though it was like a short-term kind of thing. It's still a felony, so she's having trouble, and she comes across the guy who he was from Sons of Anarchy.
Charlie Hunnam?
The young guy from, and then he was also the bad guy in like one of the Marvel things, like Punisher. Then he ended up being gay in that. Not like, but he was like literally like homosexual. My God, I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Keep talking about it. I'll look it up.
But he is.
Oh, Theo Rossi,
yes.
Yeah, Yusef.
So he is basically a credit card fraudster. So he makes fake credit cards, and then he basically kind of gives them to people, and it's like, hey, go buy me a bunch of stuff that I can resell, and then I'll give you like $200.
Oh yeah, that's the plot of the 1990 classic "Mo Money, Mo Problems" with Keenan Wayans and Marlon Wayans.
And she kind of gets hosed over by her job. Because she misses one day, so they start cutting her hours, and like they're like cutting her hours like on the week that's already been scheduled. They're just like, oh yeah, you missed a day, so we don't need you like Thursday and Friday.
Oh.
And then
isn't that like a kind of illegal? Isn't that like sort of like, what do they call it? Well, like HR, like bullying?
Because the douchebag boss is all like, we're contract workers, so I mean, why don't you have your reunion rep come talk to me? Oh, you don't have one. Get back to work.
Yeah. And that's why companies are always afraid of like their staff going union.
Yeah, and then she's got a friend that's like a model who's like, hey, we need graphic designers, and that's what you went to college for. And I'm a model, and I'm kind of taken off, so I'll put a good name in for you. And she's like, oh my God, finally I could use something in my like career. She goes in there, and she's like, she tries to be honest, and like, she's like, I have a felony on my, because at the beginning she tried to lie about it, and somebody called her on it. It was like, yeah, we just pulled your report. And you lied.
You're lying. So it's basically just like a movie about that's like kind of beating her down for being a felon.
Yeah.
That's rough,
so she then goes from this like $200 jobs to like, hey, I need more than $200 a week.
Hell yeah.
We're doing like this like little 1 hour shopping spree things. Get me on the inside.
I thought it would be funny. He's like, oh yeah, after those $200 things, she's like, I need to start my Grubhub career.
Well, that's kind of what she's doing. Oh, yeah. It's like a catering where she's like doing big lunches and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's basically Grubhubbing. That's kind of like what she's doing. Yeah. And so then it's like the two of them actually start working well together and making some money.
And then they fuck.
He works for the company, the family business, which is run by his cousin.
Yeah.
And his cousin just hoses him and just basically is like, you did something that I don't trust, so I'm closing down all the bank accounts that you have any access to. Oof. And even though I haven't paid you in 6 months because we were working on some big scheme, I'm just taking everything and like leaving.
So I don't want to go into it further because obviously you want people to watch it,
right? But
it's like it sort of feels like the Good Time movie with Robin Pattinson, where it's like things are constantly just, it's like a shitstorm,
right? Right.
So, like as you were watching that movie, was it sort of like anxiety inducing?
Yes. Yeah. And you're like, it's an interesting like relationship that they're developing, where you're like, is this like business buddies? Is this turning romantic? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. but good. Like, she's fantastic. It's probably the best thing I've seen him in.
Oh right, yeah, I barely. I didn't watch the Sons of Anarchy show, but I've seen his face before.
Yeah,
He's definitely in a lot of things.
Yeah, and he's in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, but, maybe it was it not Punisher? Maybe it was Luke Cage.
Yeah,
because I feel like he was the one. He came in from out of town and in Luke Cage and was like the
Luke Cage.
Yeah.
He
was the one that was sent from out of town to make sure that the mob business was going smooth.
All right, my number 5. It was kind of tough. Like I was really thinking about the movies I was going through, but I probably have to put this one. I mean, we did a video on it. I haven't been able to put it out because the holidays and all that stuff. So soon.
You say that, and I totally know what movie you mean, and that's also on my list.
Yeah. So for me, number 5, it's Bullet Train. Where's it at on your list?
I actually have that even higher. I really enjoy that movie.
Oh, so for me, if you guys haven't watched it, Bullet Train is a adaptation of a book written by Bullet Train book. Oh yeah, it's just Bullet Train by Kotaro Isaka.
It's like a super modern
thriller.
Orient Express.
Yeah.
Like,
it's way better than
Murder on the Orient Express or whatever.
Way better than that movie. But mainly it's because it's funny, right? Because then it's always hard to do such a big cast movie in a very confined space, right? Because they can kind of get a little boring at times when you do that sort of thing, like with the Hateful Eight.
Oh, right, and they're all stuck in the cabin, and
and it's it's Quentin Tarantino. You guys know him; he's a little pretentious, and it's super dialogue heavy,
right?
And so that one, it didn't really work for me. For this one, it does because it's shot in a blend of Western and in a Japanese style, filmmaking. A lot of you can tell the movie is just so Japanese. But I understand why there's a lot of things about Japanese cinema that Western audiences can't really get into. If it's not like the samurai stuff, it's the more just modern movies that they do. It doesn't click as well with the American audience. But this one was able to blend both of those situations or both of those styles into one movie. And you have, and then to be able to give almost every character on that movie a backstory in a very quick pace where it doesn't drag on.
And I really love the way they did the backstories as little flashbacks.
Little backstories of them, or it's just maybe a 3 to 4 minute clip.
Yeah.
And sometimes a lot of people cannot like that. It could be a little bit jarring for them, but. Nah, I think they shot it really well. It's super stylized without just being all about style and not substance.
Right.
And you get a lot of these characters motivations through their dialogue, which sometimes that could feel like an exposition dump. But for this one, you can kind of tell it flows really natural.
Right.
You have Brad Pitt talking, he talks about how he's coming back into the business. He wanted to do just little jobs, little safe jobs because he's so angsty.
Snatch and grabs.
Yeah. He's so angsty because then for some reason before he retired, there's all the jobs he was on, people were dying.
Right.
But he has that I think it was popularized in West Wing, little walk and talks. Mm-hmm. It's engaging if you feel like the character is going from one place to another without them just sitting down I don't like to do jobs. And so that's why I have it top number 5 for me, just because the rest of this list was kind of hard to put it into numbers.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're this one's so good, this one's so good.
Agreed. Yeah. I kind of these are my 5 favorite in no particular order kind of thing, because there was not really something that I was oh, this one really stood out as
Yeah,
like
right.
above everything.
Oh no, like my number one is like, yeah, it had to be my number one. Colby, what's your
It's not Avatar, is it?
No, no.
I saw Avatar, and Avatar is by far the most beautiful movie of the year. Thing is fantastically beautiful to watch.
It's like watching a loading screen.
The story, though, is
It's
not. There's stuff going on all the time, but it's 3 hours and 19 minutes, and it should be two. They probably could have cut it all the way back to 2, but 2.5 would have been. You take 45 minutes out of it, it would have felt much
the same.
much cleaner.
Oh, right. You know, James Cameron's been talking about the whole Avatar. Just turn into a book, dude. Some things are way better in book form.
Right.
Like my friend is a huge Dune fan. You know, obviously when the movie came out, he was like super high for it. I was like, I don't know, it's a bunch of dudes in sand.
I watched that and I was like, what is, I don't even really, what's going on?
Well, like, so he told me for Dune, the movie was really like about like half of the first book. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Right. This is the whole movie is like character development. And then like wait till the next movie, because somebody else told me that. Rick Danger told me that. He was like, wait till the second movie comes out. Because now you know everybody, so all the stuff can just happen. And I was like, good, because I don't ever need to watch that first one again. That was rough.
But that's because, you know, you also didn't read the books, right?
No, but I did see the first...
The first movie?
First Dune movie from like 82. And that helped me with this movie in no way. That's two totally different books. They're both on a sand planet. That's about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like hidden like connotations in there. And it's just like, it's, you know, I kind of steer away from movies that are just too political. You know, just because it's just draining. Like, you know, I don't watch a movie to like unwind, not get wound up.
Right.
Colby, what was your number 4?
So my next movie, so this one almost didn't make the list because I couldn't believe that this was 2022. This movie felt to me like this came out so long ago. Prey.
Oh, yeah.
With the Predator movie.
It's a nice return to form.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great like prequel to the series or whatever, however they're calling it.
Well, after those AVP movies, like the whole timeline and everything is just all out of sorts.
Yeah, but yeah, this definitely gave me first Predator feels.
Yeah, like it's it might be controversial to say. But it could even be a little bit better. I kind of was like, I thought about it as I was watching. I was like, you know, as much as I love like those muscly dudes, this one's really good.
It is really good.
Yeah,
this is one of those ones that they made and they learned from the past, and then they were. Even though this was in the past, whatever.
It's like the original director came back. He's like, let's bring this back to the roots.
Right. Yes.
Yes. It's funny if you guys haven't watched Prey. It's a Predator movie set during during the colonization days, like pre-colonization, where Europe is just first getting to America.
Right. So it's kind of the Predator fighting trappers and Indians.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, you know, like there's a long history of them being able to, you know, hunt and gather and all that stuff, and it's just like a really nice clean slate, like a nice let's start over. Right. And this one, the Predator isn't like, you know, he isn't too geared up. Because obviously, you know, like these predators are smart, these Yoshuas. And they're like, oh, it's a planet that's like in the pre-development age. You don't need all this gear.
Right.
If you can't take these guys on, then you're not much of a Yahshua. If you guys don't know, Yahshua is it's like their scientific name.
But yeah, like usually the movie's like, hey, let's take some people and just throw them into like a forest where they're unfamiliar, and hopefully their past training will give them the ability to survive against something that's hunting against them. But here you got like, these are Native Americans and trappers who spend their entire life hunting and trapping things. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you have like this foreign entity there. And it's like, who's the real hunter?
Right. And it's all based it's all based around this one female, like a Native American,
right?
I don't know that's the correct term, right? Native American,
yeah.
And it's about her like trying to break gender roles, and it's not like in your face. It's like very subtle. She's just like, I want to be a hunter,
right?
I can do this,
right? Yeah, she's like constantly competing against her brother, who's like a year or two older and has just passed the manhood test, and she's like, I'm a better bow. I shoot the bow better than him. I throw an axe better than him. Yeah. Why can't I do those things? You know?
Like, no, gather some berries, bitch. No, but like he like, even her brother recognizes her skills.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard, but that's not really the main focal point. It is kind of the main focal point without it being so obnoxious.
Right. Yes. It's not all like in your face. It feels very natural.
It's not the end game scene where like, oh yeah, don't worry, we could do this. She has help. That scene is still like the bane of like that whole movie. I fucking hated that scene because it's just like, it's so woke. You could have done that scene, but like, if you didn't just see Captain Marvel rip through a fucking airship,
right?
Like if it was any other hero, it could have been like, what's her name, Wasp, and then like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, she does need help to get through that,
Yeah.
Not Captain Marvel. Oh man, but yeah, that's such a great. Yeah, that is a great pick. I thought about it too, and I was like, oh, but these other movies on my list are just. So juicy.
It's like I said, it's weird because I feel like it was like 6 months ago I saw it, and I felt like I was a whole year behind. Like, this movie has been out forever. I'm finally seeing it. So like when I was like, oh, that's on the 22 list? Okay. Yeah.
Time is a social construct. It is a concept. Oh man, no, yeah, that's great. And my God, it was one of those movies I was watching with my best friend, and we were watching it, and like we actually, it's like one of those movies that like very rarely do we get vocal during movies because we're watching it, right?
Right.
But like, man, that one scene with like the brother and the predator, we got so mad. We were like, oh, fucking cheap shot. You're getting your ass whooped. He's cloaked out of there, you cheap. That had to make you mad, right?
Yeah.
Because man, he was. It's hard to say that the girl was better than her brother because he was just chopping him down.
Yes.
But he's like, the bro. Obviously, you guys know, like, the brother is more physically built,
right?
And so like he's able to stand toe to toe, where the girl who has like a smaller frame, she has to use more of her wits,
right? And she get the cool axe on a rope thing.
Oh, right, kunai with chain.
Yeah. It was a very martial art movie, but
that's super sweet. I was like, that's smart though. Like, she has to be smarter to compete with the physicality of the boys,
right?
Listen, just the same, WNBA, NBA is not the same, right?
Right.
All right, my number.
But if you're at all a Predator fan, sci-fi, like that kind of monster movie, don't be like, I'm not seeing this because they put a chick in it or something. This was,
or it went straight to Hulu.
That's another thing, because I don't know if it even went to the theater, and I think that's like my head was still like, oh, it went to Hulu because it was still pandemic time when it came out.
Yeah, maybe it was supposed to come out during the pandemic. Who knows? Right? Yeah, I would have definitely loved to have seen this on the big screen though, just because like not even just like for the story or anything, but it's beautifully shot. Like it's nice. Like you kind of get a glimpse of what it might have looked like back in the day.
Right.
Very very foresty.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word. My number 4 is going to be Jordan Peele's Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to see this in IMAX because it's definitely shot for IMAX. But yeah, I just thought it was like Jordan. Like a lot of people didn't like it as much as Jordan Peele's like previous things, But Jordan Peele kind of feels like that filmmaker that's like very like the same message that Hayao Miyazaki tries to put in his movies. Where like Princess Mononoke, it was about like pollution and all that stuff.
Right.
This kind of like Jordan Peele kind of has that same feel, and he's a huge anime fan too, like especially with Akira and all that stuff. You definitely see that reference in here because towards the end of the movie, the sister does the Akira slide.
Yeah.
Which is probably like one of the most copied, like, or like not copied, but like honored.
Right.
Scenes.
Definitely an iconic
like scene, right?
Yeah.
Or moment in anything, right? And so yeah, like just because like Nope kind of had me guessing the whole movie. Mm-hmm. I was like, what is going on? How is this happening?
Yeah, and not that it like ruined it, but it had been out a while before I saw it, so there was a lot of the surprise things
really?
Kind of had seen.
Oh, see, I was able to not really get spoiled
right
too often. Every time I would see something, I'd pass right by it because I didn't want to like read it. I didn't want to look into it too much. But yeah, like throughout the whole movie, you're kind of like guessing like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on? Like, why is this situation? There's so much to dig in this movie because it definitely feels like one of those movies that the more you rewatch it, the more you get things. Mm-hmm. Obviously one of the main ones is like the shoe during the TV flashback.
Right.
And everything just ties back in together. So I thought that was great. I love alien movies. Mm-hmm.
And this was such a cool change where the ship was the alien.
Yeah.
And that's not something that I don't know if I've really ever seen.
Right? Like the Blob.
Yeah.
But that's like man-made though.
Yeah.
Right? Was it an alien? I don't remember. It came from outer space.
It may have been an alien.
Right? There's something.
But I think it came in an asteroid crashed and then cracked open and then there was the Blob.
The Blob, right? See, this one, yeah, definitely feels like you don't know. Because I definitely didn't watch it the way that it moved. And the way that it kind of like tied everybody back in, with the brother not, you don't even know if the brother's alive. Like it's up to people's interpretations if he was able to make it out alive or not.
Right. And you almost even don't even get like, maybe this isn't even an alien. Maybe this is just some weird Earth cloud monster thing like that, just.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very, a lot of people say like one of the other things that's hard to depict in live action media is like Lovecraftian things. And it definitely has like hints and notes of like a Lovecraftian story.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was great. I was kind of sad. I like missed out on like watching it in IMAX.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely would have been even more powerful in the movie theater,
right?
Especially at the end when the alien kind of
right and
bigs up.
Yeah, and it's cool because a lot of people are like, they view it as how they want to view it. Some people are talking about how it resembles how angels are depicted in the Bible. Mm-hmm. If you guys don't know, angels they're not all those little fat babies. it's a very European Renaissance thing. But if you actually look up like real angel depictions, they kind of almost look like monsters.
Oh, right. Yes.
Especially like the seraphim, where it's just like an eye and like 6 wings.
Right. Yeah. No, that would definitely that if you were early Catholic and an angel came to visit you, you would be horrified.
Exactly. Some of them, yeah, they're just like eyes for some reason.
Right. Like on their wings and like 3 wings or more.
6 wings. Yeah. So some of them look like Pokemon. It's insane. You know, it is. Like there's that one that's like an eye or like just like a bulb, but then it has like all these rings like going around it, and those things have eyes.
Yeah,
it's insane to think about that, you know. And it's funny. I think one of the best depictions of sort of like Catholicism or like just beings is Dogma. So like one, just not the actual visualization like with Brad Pitt and Matt Damon, but when Metatron, played by Alan Rickman.
Right.
The late, great Alan Rickman, you know, he's like, oh, I have to talk to her because if you hear her voice, your brains are going to explode.
Right. Yes.
And that's a good depiction because, you know, some things can't be comprehended, you know, just like H.P. Lovecraft said, you'd go mad.
Right. Yeah. There's just too much.
Yeah. Just too much beauty. Colby, what's your number 3?
Like I wanted to put this on the list, but I don't think it really counts as a movie. But I absolutely loved it. It was the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, but it's only like 45 minutes. So it probably doesn't really count as a movie.
It's like a TV movie.
Yeah. Barbarian.
Oh yeah, that's my number 2.
So the opposite of this, where I was just saying, I liked Nope, but I unfortunately saw a lot of like spoilers beforehand. Yeah. Barbarian, there was so much talk about it, but no spoilers. Like, I don't know if I avoided them well or what, but I went into that movie totally blind, and just like everything was a surprise, and everything was just, each step was better than.
Yeah, it's funny because like it's sometimes when people talk about like, especially like movies that they like really liked, they tend to spoil it, right? But for some reason, this movie, whenever like, you know, people talked about it, they're like, I think you got to watch it.
Right.
It's like funnily enough, it was like one of the most best kept secrets of 2022 because no one wanted to talk about the movie until you watched it.
Right. And we did do a breakdown of Barbarian. So if you
if you guys want to see us talk about that.
Yeah. So we won't go too far into it.
Yeah.
Because.
All right. My number 3. And it was tough, you know. I was like, oh, I kind of want to put this higher, but I put Barbarian at 2. It was like a little mix up, but I feel like the Barbarian at number 2 is just such a good like fresh surprise into like the horror genre. That was like, oh, it has to be number 2 because like I kept making people watch it. I was like, you had to watch Barbarian. It's so good. It's so good. I think I'm the one that told you. Like, you gotta watch it.
Yep.
But I actually put the Batman at number 3.
Oh, okay.
You know, and the reason why the Batman, like, you know, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, that's so, yeah, of course you put the Batman because you're a Batman fan. But like, the reason why I put Batman on this list is because it finally felt like DC animation has had a very long hold on like animated Marvel or like animated comic book movies. Right. Ever since the Batman animated series and the Phantom Mask, which I believe was like one of the first cartoons to ever get like nominated for like, or like I think they created I forgot what it was. I can't say that, like, for sure, but I know it got an award.
Right. And that was been like 95 maybe.
Yeah, and it was like a big deal because they're like, oh, this is the first time an animation won this award.
Right.
And so DC, it felt like it's had this long grass hole where, like, even when they're making their live action stuff, besides like the Christopher Nolan, which like it's a great Batman series, like trilogy, but it doesn't feel like a comic book movie.
Right.
You know, which is like for some people it's a plus, like for some people it's a minus. You know, it's like a great movie, but it doesn't really feel like, you know, especially, you know, everyone raves about The Dark Knight too, but you know that was really that was the late great Heath Ledger show.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and he, you know, probably has one of the best depictions of what you feel like the Joker is.
Yeah.
But the Batman movie, it felt like it was actually written by the people who write for the animation. Mm-hmm. You know, and there was like this huge, like, there's like a documentary about it where DC animator, like script writers, thought that they were going to helm the live action movies. And when they found out they weren't, you know, they're kind of disappointed because like they've already created this universe.
It makes so much sense that they would have done it that way.
Right? Because it's like the DC movies, animations, the cartoons and all that stuff, everyone loves them. Like, you could still talk to people who grew up during that time where like Justice League Unlimited came out and all that stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, oh, I love those shows.
Yeah. Even Young Justice.
Yeah. Which is great because, like, when you watch animated movies, they don't have to spoon feed you anything anymore because they're like, oh, you're watching this because you love this.
Right. Yep.
You know, and so like the Batman movie, which, you know, thankfully it didn't go through the whole Martha died. Martha and Thomas died. Like, it didn't start the movie like that.
Right. It was a year one, so it was still a throwback, but at least it wasn't thrown all the way back.
Yeah, and you know, and like you get to see more of the detective side of Batman. He was more investigating. There's some scenes I obviously was like, I really wish he would do this by himself and not like he's not getting a walkthrough where all the cops are watching him like detect.
I totally was thinking about putting this on the list too. Mm-hmm. And then just kind of like you said, you were like, yo, of course you put it on because you're a Batman fan. And I was like, yeah, of course you put it on because you're like, you used to own a comic book store. So it was like, it wasn't like boom, boom, fantastic to me. So it it probably should be on the list, but there's other things. We'll kind of eke it off the list just so I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I had to put it on the list because it was finally like, finally a comic book movie that feels like a comic book. You know, it felt like a short, like 6-issue series.
Right.
And, you know, I know like a lot of people are like, oh, it's 3 hours long. You know? But you know, it was you're introducing like a decent amount of like characters in there. You had Catwoman, you had Penguin, you had the Riddler.
Yep.
You had Gordon, you had Batman, obviously, you know, play Robert Pattinson. I'm still kind of on the fence with him. Like, I do like him in the suit. You know, and it was a very rough Batman because it's year one.
Right. I still haven't seen it a second time. I need to watch it a second time because I feel like
it's better the second time.
I will have a different opinion of it when it ends the second time because that happens. Because I always I tried to drown out people talking about a movie, but it still always affects the first time I see something.
Yeah, the only gripe I have about it was like I wish the Riddler was better. Just because like the Riddler, like, so all of Batman's like all of Batman's like villains, they feel like they're pieces of him.
Right.
You know, pieces that were like his life, where his life could have went wrong and he could have become that.
Yeah.
You know, you have Scarecrow, Batman's like this master chemist. You have, you know, you have the Riddler, who matches his intellect.
Right.
The reason why Joker like throws a wrench in him is because he's everything that Batman isn't.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of those things. Bane is his physicality. So, the Riddler, who's supposed to be this villain that matches intellect, it didn't really feel like you know, all of his like riddles were too easy. They weren't. The scale wasn't enough. Like with the comic book during the New 52 run, where was it like Riddler took over Gotham, and it was like this barren wasteland, or almost like it's been overtaken by nature.
Right. Yeah.
And Batman has to come back and fix it because he was on his journey. Or even there's a run of the comic books where it was like the villain origin stories or villain one shots. Remember those? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Riddler ones was one of my favorites because he breaks into Wayne Tech, and it was just too easy. And then he gets to the top, and he's like, "Where's Batman?" He's playing chess by himself.
Right.
So that was like my only gripe.
Yeah, they did a good storyline where it was like Gotham kind of had been taken over by the two crime lords, and it was Joker on one side and Riddler on the other, and it was the same kind of thing. They really like I really liked that Riddler.
Yeah,
in that story because
he was menacing.
Yeah,
but he was intellectually menacing.
Right. Yeah.
Colby, what was your number 2?
So I think this counts. Weird Al.
And you finally watched it?
And I watched this, and I feel like I've always been a huge Weird Al fan, and I know like a ton about him outside of the music industry. And I've always been like, I don't know, like in my head's always like, you know, all you got to do is like sing a joke and it makes it funnier. So like I recognized all the caricatures of people that they put in here from like his past.
Yeah.
Where like if you weren't a big Weird Al fan, or if you weren't like if you didn't know who Frank Zappa was, it would have just been like, I don't get this. You know,
that movie was for all the UHF fans.
Right. But it was an incredibly well done mockumentary. Like it made fun of
Weird Al. Yeah.
And was pretty much not accurate. It had enough truth that it was like a documentary, but everything was like super exaggerated.
So it was like Spinal Tap.
It's like Spinal Tap.
Yeah, you know, not a lot of people give Daniel Radcliffe, and he deserves way more credit as an actor.
Freaking love Daniel Radcliffe.
You know, because he's done so many small projects.
Yeah, I feel like everything that he's done since Harry Potter ended, he is so much better than he was as Harry Potter. Like just
right. He was in like
and a lot of range. He's like in like Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, Swiss Army Man. That one was like that one had a chokehold on people.
Guns Akimbo was just. Like that was his action movie debut. Like that was amazing how much of an action star he could be.
I don't think I've seen that. Yeah, I have to put that on the list. Or I might have to watch that.
That movie definitely it's pushing my top. He's like a computer gamer troll. Yeah. And he just like every time somebody beats him, he just talking so much trash, and he ends up talking trash to somebody who is like
person
making a real life video game where they're like of like real criminals. Like it's not really a video game. It's really filming these criminals, but they're forced to do things that like you gotta like win this like Running Man kind of, you know, like Arnold Running Man. But he talks so much smack that they basically like come and kidnap him and stick him in it.
Yeah, I know he was a villain in another movie. I just don't remember which one.
Yeah, he went and he was there was a movie called like The Jungle, which is supposed to be like a real life story of like a group of guys who go to track down like an African tribe, and
Lost City.
maybe it's Lost City, and they get like stranded in the forest, like in the African jungle kind of, and it is jungle.
Oh, okay.
And it is like super dark and super intense, like this like fight for survival through the jungle. That one's really good too.
Yeah, he's in a lot of things. Yeah, I don't feel like people give him enough credit as an actor outside of. Oh yeah, I think he was the bad guy in Now You See Me Too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Here's my number 2. Since Colby talked already about it, we're gonna go Pig. I just love that movie. Dude, were you able to watch your The Indomitable something of Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
We'll do your number 2.
And that's my number 1.
Oh, that's your number 1? What's your number 2?
So what did we do? No, Weird Al was my number 2.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be the Barbie. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's talk about Pig, right? Pig is just a really great drama. You guys should watch it. It's not a 2022. It came out 2021, but it's just a movie about grieving and kind of moving on. And so I'm just, he loves his pig, man. And to contrary belief, no, he doesn't fuck the pig.
That's good. Always a positive.
Oh, have you not seen it yet? I think it's on Hulu. You can watch it. Pig. Where's my pig?
I'll have to check it out.
All right, you want to do your number?
But yeah, so then we got Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah. I nothing better to me than a comedian or an actor or a celebrity who can make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what this whole movie is him making fun of himself, but it's really well done. It's funny, like not like hilariously funny, but it's funny all the way through, but there's like a real story to it as well.
And his co-stars Pedro Pascal.
Also a big talent. That dude's gonna be doing stuff for years.
Yeah, I mean he's the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He's also Joel in The Last of Us, the
Right.
the HBO TV show that's coming out. I'm super hyped for that. I know you never played the games. But
I didn't, but my daughter did, and so she used to talk about it all the time. And then there was a comic book, so I read it was like a little 4-part comic book, but I read the comic book. So
was
I
the
am
comic book about
lightly-
the girl? Ellie?
It was like a group of people. Maybe it was about the girl. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it was like a group of like 4.
yeah. It's hard when you
Now
don't
it's
know the
gonna-
character. But like it's funny because like that even that game, like I love watching people play like the first half of that game, because in the first half this game's like 10 years old, so I'm not spoiling anything.
Right.
But he's trying to escape the city, and then his daughter dies in his arms, and then like I just love watching people cry because they're like, "Oh my god, his daughter!" Because they really set you up for failure. They make you play the girl first. Oh, so that's great. Yeah, it's like is it in the same sort of regards as like being John Malkovich?
Similar, yeah.
He's just making fun of himself a little bit.
Yeah. So like it really starts off like he's complaining about how his career he's having to take crappy movies to pay the bills, and he's looking for that one big film to come back to be a big star again.
Yeah.
And it's and every time buddy's like, oh yeah, no, this movie, you'd be great in this movie. It would be big, like when you did like National Treasure, or when you did like Face Off, and they keep bringing back, when you did The Rock, and they keep bringing back movies from like 20 years ago that were like huge blockbusters.
I love that Nicolas Cage does these indie films. Like, first of all, he's like one of the only actors that's been able to be in movies that portray portray HP Lovecraftian things with colors, A Color of Space, and Mandy.
Right.
You know, I guess I feel like Mandy's more like a like a psychedelic trip.
Right.
But like there's like elements of, you know, especially with those Cenobites that they had in there.
Yeah.
Which again, like a lot of people were, the Cenobites are very Lovecraftian, you know?
Yep.
I love that he does like these small, you know, Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, wow, that was great too.
Pig.
But like, yeah, the bigger of a, because he like makes so much fun of his past, the bigger of a Nicolas Cage fan you are, the more little inside jokes you'll get. Like, his daughter makes fun of his belt buckle because it's like a tarantula.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, yeah, like my producer was like, I should wear the scorpion. I was like, the scorpion's too aggressive. And they were like, well, what kind of insect do you want? How about this? And he's like, oh, not the bees.
Not the bees. You know, there's a lot of things that you can say about Nicolas Cage, but phony and in is never there.
And he makes fun of that because there's parts where he like has a conversation, like current him has a conversation with 20 years ago him.
Oh, that's awesome. They generated him as like, oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet. Is it during his A, B, C, D, E, F, G? One of the greatest alphabets ever read on screen. Freaking Vampire's Fist. I think that's like his most memeable movie. There's no way.
And they tell you a lot in the commercials.
Yeah.
But interesting, a lot of that is misleading.
Oh, like Pedro Pascal's really a big Keanu Reeves fan?
No, he is. He's a huge Nicolas Cage fan. That part is not misleading, but some of the other parts are misleading. So you get it's a much different movie than you
expect.
The story wise.
Oh, okay.
It goes a lot of different places that you don't expect it to. So.
All right, my number one movie, and you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, it's because you're Asian." It has to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's like one of those movies that hits so many different boxes all at once. I know you haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen it. I'm sure that's why it's not on my list.
But the fact that this movie it's helmed by two guys, I think this is like one of their first movies ever done. It has this it's an indie project pretty much because they, you know, I've watched behind the scenes where they talk about, well, this is how we did this scene. They did it with a very small team. Their stunt coordinators were these people that run a YouTube channel that does like martial arts and stunt coordinating. It's the two guys during the fight, the guy who put the butt plug in his butt and the guy who put the trophy in his butt. They're the stunt coordinators for the movie. And the fact that they're able to get Michelle Yeoh on board and Data, you know, it's just like, you know, it was such a big movie for him because if you didn't like, you know, hear the press tour or whatever, he talks about like how he wanted to get back into acting because the reason why he got out of it was there was just no acting jobs for an Asian when he was growing up. You know, it's funny that he got like these two big blockbuster movies, which is Raiders of the Lost Ark and Goonies. But after that, it kind of dried up, and he didn't want to play a caricature of an Asian like Gary Watanabe. Yeah, he didn't want to caricature himself.
Right.
He didn't want to pigeonhole himself into doing this just for the sake of getting a role, which is very respectable. But we didn't see him for how long? Like, you grew up with
yeah.
I can't say his name, Lee Kui Kwan. It's hard. That name is really hard to say.
That's the Asian guy saying. The Asian name is hard to say.
But you grew up sort of watching especially Goonies,
Right. Yeah.
That was like your Stranger Things.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, and there was so much stuff. He was also in the Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was a shortstop.
Shortstop, yep. Yeah, he had a bunch of stuff like right in a row. It was like boom, boom, boom.
And then he disappeared, right? And so it was such a big deal for him because he watched Crazy Rich Asians, and he was like, oh my God, and there's finally like Hollywood's given us a platform to do something. And so for him to come onto this project and absolutely like kill it. Because people are like, there's a lot of martial arts that happen in that movie, and he does them all. Because he's like a 3rd degree Taekwondo black belt.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No idea.
You didn't. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, how's Dada gonna pull this off? And he does all of his action scenes really well. He keeps up with who a lot of people consider a kung fu legend, Michelle Yeoh. You're like, how is he gonna perform next to Michelle Yeoh? And they both like awesome. And just the amount of it almost feels like a director's passion project when you watch this, because this movie deals with a lot of people called it the real multiverse of madness. Mm-hmm. Because it deals with multiverses and the multiverse, but you also had Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie, right? And she's huge,
right?
All right, and she's a OG screen queen, and so but this movie not only deals with like it has a sci-fi effect of being like a multiverse movie. Which is already a very ambitious like subject to take on, especially for indie film. But it also deals with like generational trauma for like a lot of Asian Americans can attest to this. Being you too, you're I don't know how your dad was, but your dad must have been from. Do you remember that movie with Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio? Where he was kind of like rough, like he was like this old dad from the 1940s. And he was an asshole.
Yeah,
and it deals with like a lot of those like passing down traumas to your children. I don't know if you had to deal with that, but I know like a lot of my friends, Asian American friends who had to deal with like first generation or immigrant parents that came here. And
see, I feel like I'm one generation removed from that, because that was totally my grandpa, like my dad's dad.
So you're the product of I don't want to be like my dad, so I'm going to treat you better.
Right. So my dad had already was like, I'll treat my kid better, and then I got the
you got
even
the
a little bit like yeah. My grandpa was like the
hard ass.
Clint Eastwood in Tarantino.
I love that movie. That movie is so racist.
Right. And my dad's brother is much more like my grandpa than my dad was. Like my dad, because like
I don't want to be like that.
Yeah. And my uncle was just like, his brother was like, I'm not staying in New Jersey. There's too many colors here.
Oh my God.
I got to move to a different town where
a lot of me's at.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Colby's not saying, in that way. He's speaking it from his uncle's.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I have absolutely no problem with.
Yeah. Yeah. You should see Colby's. You should have seen his comic book shop. No. But yeah, here's like one little instance of that is just Michelle Yeoh. The main character of that movie is Michelle Yeoh, and her having to deal with just like a lot of regrets and broken relationships, right? Where she has a hard time communicating with her daughter. Her daughter in the movie. Also, I think it's like the first time I've seen this actress, but she's absolutely great in that movie as well. But they're having this moment where she wants to tell her daughter, like I love you, I miss you or something. And a lot of Asian Americans get, freaking fucking attest to this, but she was like, you're getting fat. You should lose weight. And it's funny if you go on TikTok, right, and then type on the search bar everything everywhere all at once and reactions, you'll just see videos upon videos of just Asian girls just leaving the theater crying. And so I don't know if if Colby watches this, I don't know if he'll feel it the same. I think he will. He understands, Right. He's very he's a empathy type of human being.
I can cry. I'm a boy who can cry.
But one of the scenes, which this is not really spoiling anything, but Lee Ki Kwan, his character in there, and Michelle Yeoh, they're in a different universe, and Michelle Yeoh explains to him oh, I'm this is what would have been our life if we had stayed together, and they're both super successful, right? This line, I'm gonna tell you this scene because even if I tell you, you'll still see it and you're you'll still connect to it some way, right? But they're both they're both very successful, but he's he as he starts to leave, he tells Michelle Yeoh, he's a life of just doing laundry and taxes, I would have really liked that as well, even though he's this hyper successful businessman.
Right.
When she explains to him this life that they had where they just owned a laundromat, he was like, I would have really enjoyed that. And I was like, that scene got me crying. I was crying. You'll watch it. You're a business. You were a small business owner.
I'm sure I'll tear up.
Oh man, but that is that's Colby. Do you want to hit us with your honorable mentions list? Mine's Pig. So. Someone's gonna come away from this episode. I was like, I gotta watch Pig.
Okay. So and then my so Bullet Train would have also been on there.
Okay.
So I actually put Weird Al for Bullet Train. Bullet Train I would have been my second because I really did enjoy the movie. But the other movie, and I also thought this was older, but Kimi, Kimi. It's Lenny Kravitz's daughter's first big role. Maybe not it's her first big role, but it's the first.
Well, yeah, she was in the Batman.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
but I think this was before that.
Oh, probably.
But I thought this movie was really good. I thought she did a really, really good job on it.
Oh yeah, it was what would you describe that movie as? What kind of genre?
So definitely a psychological thriller.
Oh.
She is in charge of basically kind of phone calls and stuff that for a security system.
Okay.
She reviews them.
Oh.
And, mostly is just to make sure that, things are going right. But then she overhears something that she's not supposed to overhear. And she reports it. And they're just then nah, that's not important. Just go ahead and delete it. But worry
about that.
But it bothers her, so she kind of keeps monitoring the interactions, and
you're curious.
Yeah.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yep.
Oh, she's in a lot of things. Wow. I didn't realize she was also a Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie.
She is in way more things than I knew. Just going through that, I'm like, that's a whole list of stuff.
Well, I don't really picture you I gotta watch all the Zoe Kravitz movies. Wait, does Shia LaBeouf have a brother? Sorry, I'm searching for things. Right? Ryan LaBeouf doesn't even have a photo. Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. After watching her as Cat with Selena Kyle, made me feel some type of way. It's very pretty. Oh yeah. Oh, what is there anything? Was there anything else on that list?
No. I think that's everything that we didn't. Yeah, and then the Guardians Christmas special,
which was great. It was a nice little breather. I have not been a huge fan of Phase 4 lately. When it comes to the movies and the shows,
And so I really have liked Phase 4 because it is so much different. It's not the everything is the blockbuster, has to be the summer like biggest movie, save the whole universe. Like She-Hulk, I just loved. I just that from that version of the comic, I thought they did just a fantastic job.
She wasn't smashing enough, sex wise. Because She-Hulk is very promiscuous in the comics. She's like doing it with a bunch of characters.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want if you want it ruined for you, just don't read the Old Man Logan comic. She's the only one that can take it. When I read that, I was in the borders. I was like, whoa, oh my God. Aren't they cousins?
Yeah.
She got stuck in the laundry.
Yeah. But no, like all the shit, like Loki, I thought was fantastic.
Oh, Loki was amazing. That is like probably one of the shining gems of Phase 4 for me. Because I think it was because you could take out everything Marvel in that and it would have still been a great show.
It's right.
Yeah. It wouldn't make sense. You just have a normal dude, like an alligator as a normal dude. But I love that. I was like, Loki as an alligator? That's amazing. Well, like, I was thinking about it. I was like, what was Thor? Thor had to have been like a gorilla or something. Oh man. Actually, I actually really enjoyed the Hawkeye show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that, I don't know if it was because, I liked it because it dealt with the PTSD that Barton was having to deal with.
Right.
Him trying to live through or trying to work through his guilt of being Ronin, killing, mass murdering criminal organizations, also having to deal with the death of Natasha, while with his family, him being deaf. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then passing the torch on to Hailey Steinfeld's character. And
so you say that like, and it's like I feel like I like the shows much better than the movies.
Yeah,
because I didn't hate Eternals, but it wasn't great. Yeah, right.
Very yawn-inducing.
And then Black Widow was
a couple years too late.
Right. Yeah.
A couple years too late. I was like, why are they fit this movie and then it's supposed to run into, what was it called? Infinity War? Or yeah. And I was like, it's too late. It's too late for that. No Way Home, really, it was just a nostalgia thing for me.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's always that, like, my joke is there's a big difference between a good movie and an entertaining movie. Yeah. And that was definitely an entertaining movie. Like, it was, I'm glad I saw it. It was good it was entertaining all the way through, but that wasn't necessarily a good movie.
Well, what made me...
And I kind of felt that same way about
Love and Thunder,
Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, yeah, that was the Scarlet Witch show.
Love and Thunder, I feel like I liked it better than a lot of people because I kind of, and I don't know if it was intentional, I kind of got the joke that this is the whole story being told by Korg. Yeah. And this is how he would tell it. But like they didn't make that obvious enough. And so if you didn't pay attention to that at the very beginning, you would have been like, I can definitely see why you're like, why people were like, this movie is just overly silly, and all like girl power, and they made Thor just like a big lug, and
it's like he regressed. Because I felt like, even after like in what's it called, Endgame, I was like, no, Thor has like a lot of issues he has to like work through, and the movie was it was overly silly. I understand it was from like the perspective of Korg, but I think it's because Disney was like, well, Ragnarok worked so well, so we need Taika Waititi. I need you to up the ante.
Right, and they should have done like the first story told by Korg, and then then like Thor's like come in and be like, that's not how it happened, and then the story kind of goes on and then gets more serious as they fought the butcher and stuff, and it was
Gore the God Butcher.
and I liked him as a bad guy, but it was
Christian
just
Bale.
he was only in it like half as much as he needed to be.
It sucks though, because like the Gore the God Butcher run from the comics was so dark.
Right.
And I think like, they had, they did it from the perspective of Korg, but the subject matter was just, like the way, even the movie starts with like the devastation of Gore's like planet and people,
right,
and the betrayal of the gods in his eyes was like such a dark way to start this movie, and then it goes into this like bright colored goofy portion, and it kind of like the tones don't match.
Yeah,
I really wish they would have went darker, not as dark as Dark World. Dark World sucks. But if they had kept the same consistent tone, it would have been a way better movie. Yeah. And for No Way Home, I just thought the premise of it was silly. It's, we can't get into college. It's like, dude, you don't need college at this point. You guys are like all geniuses. You guys just start your own business and work your way up through that way,
Right. Yeah.
Paul Rudd's doing really well being known as Ant-Man. Come on, Peter. You could be that too. No. Peter's identity is like one of his biggest like focal points in the comics. For people not knowing who he is. But
and then I didn't see Wakanda. The Black Panther 2, and I legitimately have not heard really anything about it.
I've heard mixed reviews. It's like, it's funny because even Chadwick Boseman's family is like, you guys should recast him. Recast, Black Panther. He's such a powerful character for like, the African American community. It's like all these kids can finally have a hero to really look up to. You guys should just recast him. So like I was like, if his family is saying recast him, why not? Because like Michael Coogler still had the original script, or before he found out that Chadwick Boseman had stage 4 cancer or something
like that.
Yeah, he still had this, but I don't know. Like I haven't, like my best friend told me about it. He's like, you can, you could watch it. It's all right.
Yeah.
He felt like it was like another like a woke movie. And it's like, I was like too in your face. So like Phase 4 stuff, I haven't really been. I mean, I've watched it because what else is there to watch sometimes. Another thing that we have to talk about, because we have extra time during the end of the month, so let's talk about this now, right? We're gonna start this new year off right. I've seen some of the replies that you've been getting on Twitter. I was like, oh, Colby's been busy on the Twitters. I don't understand this huge hashtag fire James Gunn when he hasn't even done anything.
I was right. So my replies to people on Twitter have been pretty much, if everybody loved the way the DC universe was going, then I don't understand why they would have replaced Snyder and brought in James Gunn and wanted to make big changes. But for the last 10 years, all everybody has done is crapped on every single not Batman
DC movie. Yeah.
Like they crapped on Joker and then it got like nominated for Academy Awards. Like
that movie is also amazing.
The only one they didn't really bash too hard was the first Wonder Woman, but that still got pretty bad reviews.
Yeah.
And like what there was a director change or something in the middle of that, and everybody was like up in arms.
Yeah. Oh, like the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, release a Snyder cut.
Right. And then they're like, James Gunn can't do anything good. But then you're like, if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores of all the DC movies that have come out, all of them, like there's 52 of them.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad 2 is number 6 highest. The
David Ayer.
The next one that is not Wonder Woman 2, not Joker, not Harley Quinn. The next one on that list is number 26, which is the Schneider cut. And it's like number 35 is the not Schneider cut of Justice League. But there's like everything else in between there is all like all the old Batman movies, all the old Superman movies, like
it's everything pre-Schneider.
Everything pre-Schneider. So like it's really like, I mean, like he did a lot of good, but he's not the face that's going to make DC compete against Marvel.
Yeah. So okay. So I have to do one correction. Snyder didn't get fired. He stepped down because his child committed. His child.
No. I'm talking about replacing Schneider with Gunn.
Wait, it's Snyder. I just like saying Schneider.
Snyder replacing Snyder with Gunn.
Yeah.
You know, within the last 6 months. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, you did.
Yeah, step down. Do whatever you
if
gotta
you have
do,
something like that tragic in your family.
Yeah,
100%. You know.
Yeah, like so, like the thing about it, right? Where I come from is like James Gunn. If you look at his track record for his movies, not like obviously let's not account his like early ones. Those are everyone's starting out. They got to do something, right?
Right.
But Snyder's been able to take a couple of properties and make them into like household names.
Right.
Mainly, well, first of all, Slither is amazing with Nathan Fillion. I know it's not a household name, but like, you know, it has a cult following for a reason. But Guardians of the Galaxy is like one of them, like the biggest. Like everyone when it first came out was like, who the fuck are the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Right. I'm not gonna watch that movie.
Right? The fat guy from Parks and Rec is in. First of all, I want to let you guys know I loved Chris Pratt when he was fat. Like well, he's chubbier. You know, he was just much more funny. Now he's like not to bash on anyone's religion, but he's I don't know. Everyone talks about how he's in this weird religion or weird sect of Christianity now. I don't know what that's about. And he left Anna Faris. Well, no, I think there's like a whole rift between them when he started to get more famous. But like, he took Chris Pratt, he took Dave Bautista, two of the more lesser known people, obviously Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, and the girl who played the green girl.
Oh, right. But this almost like her. She was in Avatar where nobody knew who she was.
Yeah,
I mean, like where she was amazing, but
she was animated.
You didn't.
Visualize.
You would not have seen her on the street and been like, "Oh, you're the blue girl from Avatar."
Yeah. But but she was so like if you knew her, you knew her. If you didn't, you'd be like, "Oh, who's that girl?" And he took like these people and with that property from Marvel, which is like I feel like a much lesser known comic book, and projected into this like huge brand for Marvel,
superstardom. Yeah.
And even he saved the Suicide Squad 2 movie, which is much more enjoyable. It is hyper violent. It's what a Suicide Squad movie was supposed to be.
Right.
You can't have this ragtag group of assassins and murderers and all that stuff not do bad stuff.
Right. And then the spinoff from that, Peacemaker and
hilarious as well. And so I don't understand. I keep seeing it like on Facebook and on Twitter, like fire James Gunn. He doesn't want Henry. I was like, listen, Henry Cavill, he looks amazing as Superman. But Superman's like a boring character.
Right. Yeah, and Affleck already made it very clear he didn't want to keep doing Batman.
It's a shame. I like Batfleck.
And then they were like, "Oh, now they're not going to make a Black Adam 2." Who's out there saying they liked Black Adam 1? Everybody's like, The Rock was amazing in this really crappy movie.
No, they're saying that The Rock played The Rock In the Black Adam.
Right.
The one saving grace I did hear about it is Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. I was like, that's a good one.
Have you seen it?
No. I don't.
You don't care?
Yeah, I don't care.
Hey, then they kill him. He's not going to be back in the second one because he's dead.
Come on. First of all, how do you kill Dr. Fate? Is like one of the most strongest characters in the DC universe.
He's got the helmet still there, so there'll be a different Dr. Fate.
It should be a Filipino.
If they could do that.
Yeah, but then I also heard there was a rift between like The Rock and Zach Levy being Shazam, which I don't know if because it seems like James Gunn kind of wants to just let's do a clean sweep.
Right.
So we don't know if there's going to be a third Shazam movie or if Zachary Levi will still play Shazam. We're not too sure. I'm just speaking from what I've been hearing. I don't mind the clean slate.
Right.
Yeah. I would like to see a more conflicted Superman because I'm telling you right now, Man of Steel, boring to me. Because, all right, I don't know for you.
Agreed. Like I said, that Superman is a pretty boring character. You got to put him up against something amazing to make him good. And not that Henry Cavill was in any way a bad Superman. Those movies weren't great, and
they weren't well written. And it's a shame because he for a British guy, he looks red, white, and blue to me.
Right,
America.
Right. So if you get you start the DC universe from a Guardians of the Galaxy side, where you start bringing in DC's got a plethora of great characters that are not the big three.
Yeah. I still don't mind the big three though. Don't get me wrong, but the way that Superman is portrayed in the Snyderverse, it's just so dreary. But then when you read Superman comics, it's so bright. Superman is supposed to be this beacon of hope. Right. He's supposed to be happy. Yes, he can get conflicted. Give him obstacles that he has to go through, but it's just going to be different obstacles because he's such an all-powerful being. Now, if he's like James Gunn has said, he wanted to start Superman from a younger age, and that's fine. I want to see that. I want to see him struggle to be Superman.
Right.
And then by the end of the first movie, he is Superman. And people are going to be like, well, Henry Cavill was traumatized in the first one. It's yeah, but Henry Cavill he also had to go up against Zod.
Yeah.
Grodd. No, that's Gorilla Grodd. And realistically, he shouldn't have been able, first of all, he shouldn't have killed him. That's not something that Superman does on a whim.
Right.
And also, Superman should have got dog walked because Zod is this Kryptonian warrior.
Yes.
And for him to be able to outpower him and then kill him.
Right. And I hate to compare it to the old Christopher Reeves one, but Zod whooped Superman's ass. And it was basically Superman had to trick Zod into
going into the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
So his real first, it would be nice if they take a little bit of Smallville, build him up that way. And then his first real enemy is someone of intellect, like Lex Luthor.
Right.
And that could be the first movie, He could be super betrayed by Lex Luthor, who he thinks is his friend. And, we'll go that way, And then in the second movie, you can give him freaking Doomsday. And then, and then third movie, you can give him Brainiac or something. I don't know.
Right. Or not do Doomsday again.
Oh, but I love the Doomsday. The Doomsday lore is so amazing to me because it's literally he was manufactured, right?
Yep.
And he's a being that's supposed to constantly evolve. He's the epitome of what is it called? The Darwin theory, whatever. The only the strongest will survive.
Yeah, theory of evolution.
Yeah. Because Superman can't kill him, no matter how hard he tries. He's thrown him into the sun. And he survived that. He's the ultimate Superman, being. Oh, a second movie could be Lobo.
Lobo should be.
He's so hot.
Yeah, Lobo should be a movie.
Yeah, Lobo should be his own movie.
Right.
He could be DC's Deadpool. but he's like having sex. But yeah. Obviously, DC has a plethora of people to pull from.
Right.
Huge. So yeah, I just don't understand why people are just like fire James Gunn when he hasn't even gotten started.
Yeah.
And so hopefully this doesn't affect him. Hopefully he's able to put out the type of movies that he wants, because he's the spearhead. He's like the CEO, the co-CEO of it, right?
Right. Yep.
And so I don't think he's not gonna be directing all of the movies.
Right. Yeah. No, he's basically he'll probably direct some, but he's basically the one who approves all the movies and then makes sure all the movies are coherent with each other.
Yeah. And so just, and the fact that he's working with comic book writers makes it even better.
Right.
Hopefully he collabs with some of the old school like Warner Brother writers for the animation portion of it, and then you guys are going to be golden. Just relax. Right. All right. I don't even think Zack Snyder wants to come back. Zack Snyder is an amazing visual arts director. Story-wise, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. All right, we've gone long enough. I know, 30-minute tangent about like the state of DC and Marvel right now was an unexpected one. Hopefully you guys appreciate it.
Hey, but it is the very beginning of 2003 and
2023.
2023. Yes,
You went 20 years back in time.
and it'll be very interesting because we will have from this conversation, this end conversation, we will have a lot of answers by the end of 2023.
All right, we should do a 2023 recap.
Yeah, we'll listen to this and make fun of how bad we predicted things.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you guys had a great New Year's Day. I know you guys are going back to work. But hey, new year, new you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Stay positive, stay focused, make this year better than the last year, right? Even if the last year was great.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to see who knows who does our theme music, it's Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music for Podcast 3. And her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.